good now.
Confirm start. .text.
I'm wondering, am I high again?
Uh,
Oh, wow. I meant, I meant the height of the chair. Welcome to WAN Show. How's it going? We have a bunch of great news this week. Twitter made money. That's weird. I don't think that's ever happened before.
No, I don't believe it has. The HomePod stains your furniture permanently.
AMD is apparently potentially sending out free processors?
We'll have to get to that later.
What?
Google removes the ability to view images. Now requires you to save them to your account. And
I think we've called out enough news. Stay tuned to watch the rest. Intro roll.
I am so hungry. Like, I need that Savage Jerky spot today.
Yeah.
I am so excited for the Savage Jerky spot.
Yeah.
Freshbooks sponsored the show.
Yeah.
But that Savage Jerky. P.S. the Sriracha. You know what? Whatever. Screw Colton. I mean,
it is really good.
Yeah, it's fine, but it's not. Okay. I need to tell.
When everything on a 10-point scale starts at 9, you still, you know.
Yeah.
But there's 10s.
But there's 10s, Colton. See, Colton, he's not a 10 thinker. You know, he's more of a 9 thinker.
As long as it's past the post.
Yeah.
You know?
Past the post. All right. So, we have got a lot of great news for you guys. Why don't we kick it right off with Twitter made money?
So this might not sound too crazy, but if you've been following Twitter at all, they have never been profitable.
Twitter turns a profit for the first time in 12 years.
And just like so many other...
Look at this.
Like...
Look at this.
Look at that one.
They've lost as much as $500 million in a single quarter.
Oh, man.
Like...
What did they do?
And like regularly, 100 to 200 million. They made $100 million. Like, they are clearly still many, many years in the hole, but like $91 million profit on $732 million revenue.
And there's so many social kind of tech companies like this that just make nothing and burn for so long. I don't know. Like Snapchat is actually at the point now where it's like old and people don't really want to use it anymore because it like feels old.
Wow.
And I still don't think they're really making money. So like, yeah, they didn't really make enough. It says here, the profit was modest, 91 million on a 732 million in revenue. So the profit was 91 million.
Yeah.
The revenue was 732.
Their shares soared as much as 30%, which is the most since November 7th, 2013. Did they really go public that long ago?
It's been a while.
Like what? See, this is why I don't invest in stocks, because I don't understand it. It's basically, if you're okay. Now, to be clear, there are situations where I kind of look at it and go, okay, yeah, that sort of makes sense. Like there are companies that pay out a dividend on their profits to their shareholders. So if you do the math and you go, okay, well, this is blue chip enough and stable enough that I think that they are...
What's the blue chip terminology?
Blue chip?
Yeah.
A blue chip stock is like a predictable one that basically rises and falls as the market in general does.
If you think you're bad at stock, I'm like a tier below.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if you look at it and you go, okay, this blue chip stock pays out dividends at sort of X rate, and overall we're tracking this, and the economic outlook is Y, and whatever.
Because I can't buy any.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you could kind of go, and in 8 years, I'll have made back what I spent on my stock in just dividends. So as long as it doesn't,
still own the stock.
and then you still own the stock. Like if there's some kind of math that you can do where you kind of go, oh, okay, yeah, sure, maybe that sort of makes sense. To be clear, it's still gambling because it can all still totally be destroyed.
The company could vanish.
Yeah. But this whole betting on companies that don't make money, that one really confuses me. Like the way that I've always believed in running a business is small is fine, big is good, big is better, But profitable is essential. I believe in sustainability. Everyone who gets hired at Linus Media Group should know that even if I fail in my efforts to go around and get on my knees and do whatever it is that I need to do from my knees, be it like this or like whatever else.
I don't even need to see what you did.
With VC capitalists, they need to know that even if my efforts to raise money from people who just, don't know what to spend it on fail, they will still have a job.
Yeah.
I believe in that.
I like not being VC based. It's kind of cool. Even though Floatplane sort of is, but in a different way.
In a different way. So
in a quite different way.
Yeah, so the way it works is I'm the VC.
Yeah. Which is, I think that's different. Yeah.
It is different. You and I have a long working relationship, and I'm directly involved in the company.
Yes,
it's
yeah.
It's not like
it's inside investment. That sounds like a bad thing.
Is that what it's called? I don't know.
It's probably not called that because that sounds like
sounds sketchy.
It sounds something like
Anyway.
something illegal, but it's specifically
The
good.
point is, this whole pure speculation on I'm going to buy this stock because someone else is going to look at it and go, wow, I should have bought that stock. And they're going to jump in, they're going to buy it for more, and then I'm going to sell it. That has always been scary to me for the same reasons that cryptocurrency is scary.
Yeah.
Or putting
because it's the same.
or mortgaging my house and putting it all on black
Oh.
is scary. All of those things are scary to me. So I just want to make sure that even though we're getting kind of amped because Twitter made money, which I have never seen an ad on Twitter. So
I have.
Where are
okay,
they?
no, they're not ads. They're promotions.
I don't see ads.
They're promotions.
I actually just I have a learning disability. I can't, or a visual
I
impairment.
remember we talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see them. Where are they?
They're kind of hard to see because they're
Here, okay, let's all go on a journey to Twitter together. Let's go to the home. Okay.
So, I think you can pay to get here.
On worldwide trends?
I could be wrong, but sometimes you'll see something that has
here, this doesn't have many tweets.
Yeah, exactly.
But, is
so there's
number
ones
2.
with huge amounts of thousands.
Watch something on Netflix. So is this sponsored? But it's not disclosed.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I think you can pay to get there. I don't necessarily know that any ones that are there right now did.
Okay.
I could also be
Here's
completely
a
wrong.
link so you can advertise with Twitter. It's not real clear what you get for your money from looking at my homepage,
Maybe
or
we
the Linus
should
Tech Tips homepage anyway.
Check it.
Okay, so why don't we go to... No. I want to know where the ads are. I don't want to know where to spend money to buy these supposed ads.
I don't think you're going to see any notifications. I think you only see them in Home and Moments.
Okay. No, this is from my network. I follow them.
Okay.
So So this is what I'm trying to figure out here. Is so I think it's really cool that Twitter made money. I can't figure out
How?
why they made money because I can't figure out why anybody's buying advertising on it.
And lots. Their revenue is huge.
Yeah, it's $700 million of revenue.
Yeah.
It's not, to be clear, that's nothing compared to a giant like Google or Facebook. But I'm sure Twitch chat is tearing me apart here. They go turn off ad block. I don't have ad block.
Yeah, neither of us have ad block. That's not it for sure.
Here. You know what? No. I want to make sure that that the air is clear. Where would ad block be if I had it?
Up here.
Up where?
The only extension you have is LastPass.
Yeah.
Or the only extension that requires an icon, but I'm pretty sure ad block.
Where would I show what shows my extensions? Would it show up as an app?
I think it's under More Tools, and then More Tools and then Extensions. So More Tools.
More tools.
Extensions.
Here we go. I actually don't really use browser extensions, as you guys can plainly see.
Okay, you have a fair amount, but most of them are not enabled. You can see from the check mark box.
So there you go. There's there's every extension I have ever tried for 5 minutes. There you go.
Yeah.
So no, ad blocker is not the issue. I just maybe part of it is that I don't see them, and I don't click on them. So maybe they just stop bothering.
Yeah, okay, because I'm on mine, and I decided that I was just going to sit here and just constantly scroll through home until I got to one.
Yeah.
And I haven't. I've seen them before, though. I have seen sponsored tweets. They definitely exist. I know.
I don't use Hola VPN. I think I grabbed it like years ago for. I know what I used it for. We did a sponsored spot for Hulu, and Hulu is US only.
Yeah.
And we needed to get some screen capture of Hulu, and I just needed to go on like their website. So I think that's why I grabbed just like some free, because that was prior to our Tunnel Bear sponsorship. I don't think I had even heard of Tunnel Bear at the time.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
yeah,
yeah, so,
that's why I had a couple of random like that. That's from like 4 years ago.
An actually insane amount of scrolling, and I have seen 0 ads. I've scrolled through a lot of stuff while we're just sitting here.
So yeah, like I don't get it. So back to, so their total advertising revenue was only up 1% year over year because maybe there's a lot of people out there who can't find the ads on Twitter, or maybe you know what, it's mid Q1.
Oh, no one's buying.
Yeah, maybe they actually are just like, don't have any ads to serve.
Yeah,
like
that
that's
could
possible.
definitely be it. Yeah.
So I mean, just so you guys know, like there's a very cyclical nature to online advertising spending, and we've been doing
Very
it long
much so.
enough
Yeah.
that we're very familiar with the ebbs and the flows. So in quarter one of any given year, since Linus Media Group has become a thing, we've been running around with our hair on fire trying to figure out how we're going to survive for the next year, because we do our annual employee reviews. We try to get them finished in December, and during that time everyone gets sort of the feedback on how things went this year for the company, how things went for them, and a lot of the time people get raises. And that's also the time of year that we do all of our budgeting for the following year, where we'll go, okay, we need to set aside this much money to hire this person and this much for that person and whatever else. And then every Q1, like, we're not surprised because we know it's coming. Okay, I'll show that in a minute. We're not surprised because, like, we know it's coming, but we're always kind of surprised by the severity because the calendar flips over, figuratively. Who uses paper calendars? It's ridiculous. But the calendar flips over, and like all of our sponsors are just like, yeah, we don't have any budget right now, and AdSense goes like this, and we're just like, oh, how are we gonna survive? Like we're paying people more than we used to, but we're making less than we used to. This is not a good. Sorry, I got a cough.
Damn it! There goes that bingo piece.
So the point is, this happens. This happens every year, and so it actually shouldn't surprise me that much if Twitter doesn't have a lot of advertising inventory to pump out to the people who are least likely to click on it, people like me. With that said, here we had someone provide this in Twitch chat.
No, it was a tweet to both of us.
To both of us. To both of us.
No, like they tweeted this screenshot to both of us.
Oh, okay.
So one thing to note here
go.
is someone brought this up in the chat as well.
I don't know if I want to like promote this too much. What is this?
I have no idea. Don't go to it. There you go.
Yeah, this looks like pretty scummy.
It does.
Like, I've never heard of it. It might be fine, but like investment advertising on Twitter that compares itself to crypto and is like, yeah, we provide even better returns than crypto. Like, what does that even mean?
It sounds like the worst thing. I would, in particular, not go there. How about that? We'll give them negative promotion. But yeah, like apparently it's more popular in the mobile app, which might be part of the reason why we're not seeing it. So January, so there's less of them. Or
Yeah.
It's not January, but Q1, so there's less of them. And we're not mobile app, so there's less of them.
Okay.
Both of those actually does make quite a bit of sense.
Okay, so there you go. Twitter made money, but that doesn't mean that I would necessarily recommend going and, investing your life savings, because revenue is only up 1%, as I said before, and 2017 as a whole was down 6%. from 2016.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that means. If your advertising revenue is up 1%. Oh, maybe they have other sources of revenue, like data sales. I don't know. What does Twitter do? Does Twitter sell data?
I have no idea.
I
I
have no
assume
idea.
so. I totally assume so. Because
mean,
they have a lot of it.
You know, we got to be careful, you know, because we don't want to get caught up in a slander, libel, disparagement thing. So we don't know. We don't know. And we mostly don't care.
It would be logical that they would.
We mostly don't give two poops and half of a rat's rear end about sort of Twitter's financials.
Yeah. So someone just tweeted me this, which was they tagged me in a sponsored post that they saw in their feed. That doesn't show me that it's sponsored because of how Twitter works. You just make a normal tweet and then you promote that normal tweet and it will be promoted to individual people. But if other people see it, it's just a normal tweet. So you can't actually tell, like there's no hashtag ad or anything because it's coming from the actual home company. So that's kind of interesting, actually.
I just found out why my hard drive mining test machine wasn't booting after the power outage.
Why?
Boot drive got nuked. So, like, it's not the hugest deal, but I need to put a new OS on it. No,
all the plot files are still there, so you can just read them.
Oh, yeah, the plot files are still there. It's just, it's a pain in the butt because it has, like, 25 drives in it. And so I just need to go through and tediously re-add all the plots and, like, get it all signed in and blah, blah, blah.
Luckily, the plot file names should have your nonce counts in it.
Yeah, it was a pain in... No, it does. Like, it's fine. It's just, like, I mean, I plotted all of them on separate machines already anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
so
just,
you're
it's the
familiar
actual
with this.
rig that runs it. And it's just, it's a pain in the butt because... I had a really, really hard time finding a driver that worked for the LSI controller cards that
Don't
are
have
in
it
there.
anymore?
Because the problem is that LSI got acquired by whoever, who then got acquired by someone else. So finding drivers for the old LSI stuff, even if there is a current product that's the same thing, it's just kind of like a pain in the butt. And I figured it out like a few months ago, so I'm just going to have to do it from scratch. It took me like half an hour, so it's just like, not the end of the world. You know,
speaking of not
my
the end
800
of the...
burst coins worth a total of like $26 are safe. So far, by the way, guys, the results for Mining Adventure Side Quest, hard drive mining, not great. If you have to actually buy a hard drive for it, not recommended.
Yeah, not so much.
But, well, yeah, anyway, sorry, what were you saying?
Speaking of not the end of the world, but not recommended, have you been watching the Olympics at all?
No.
Okay, so
I haven't seen anything.
there's a few different people talking about how different coverage has been going, and one thing that I do have to give a shout out for is CBC has been great.
CBC rocks at Olympic
Canadian
coverage.
Broadcasting Company. It's
Corporation, but sure.
Sure.
They're not a company.
Oh, that makes sense. It's been awesome. Watching their stuff has been really great. They stream all of it, which is pretty sick. It's been interesting, though, watching Twitter, because I started, like... Someone mentioned that NBC sucked for some reason, and I was like, CBC has been great.
I heard NBC's been like cutting off the like middle of events
for ads
for like
and
certain
stuff.
for certain events, and then other events like I think it was ice dance or figure skating or something. They're doing like picture in picture to make sure we like see the reaction cam. Like some of them they're trying like really hard to cover really well, and then others they just like don't give a crap.
Okay, so
I don't know. Anyway,
with
go ahead.
CBC, apparently, because a lot of people have been tweeting about it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. With CBC, people have been tweeting about this. If you run ad block, the stream just keeps going when the ads are supposed to be running. So the announcers think that the ads are running, and they keep talking.
Really?
And it's been pretty bad. But, like, there's constantly through the CBC, there's, like, none of this shall be reproduced or, like, CBC will come after you, basically, is constantly broadcasted. So there's not a lot of clips of it. But there's, like, man, I don't want to effing commentate the next game, blah, 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 blah. I wonder if they're going to, you know, send any to our hotels. Like, bad stuff. Stuff that should not be on the air.
No way.
So you're not supposed to copy it. You're not supposed to record it. But if
yes,
someone did, wow, that would be golden.
you know, I'm not even convinced that any scandal matters anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got
It made me salty because I was so happy with how the CBC's coverage was working. Their web streaming was working great. You could watch VODs, you could watch live coverage. Their commentation was going really well. The timing of ads was very sensible. Everything was super awesome. Everyone else was complaining. I was like, yes, this is great. And then
none of it's gonna stick because like we don't really get political on the show anymore. But it's probably worth at least mentioning that right now the president of the freaking United States has a porn star and an ex-playmate, both of which have given very credible accounts of affairs that he had with them, and it's as simple as, no, it's all a lie, never happened. And it's like barely even news.
Yep, and now with deep fakes
Like, okay.
and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm sure they'll come out with like a deep fake equivalent for audio. That'll be a bad combination.
So yeah, like whatever the commentator said, the best advice I can give them. If anyone from the CBC
Just
who
ignore
said
it?
something, yeah, no, you don't even have to ignore it. Just be like,
Nope.
fake news.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay. Nothing sticks anymore. Like I'm at the point now where I'm kind of looking at it going, why do I even stress out about this stuff anymore?
Yeah.
Like I should find something like scandalous to do, and then
not?
just see how quickly it goes away.
Gain temporary attention.
Yeah.
Which is helpful.
Yeah.
And then it'll just disappear.
Like, do you have any idea how healthy Tampon Gate was for the overall momentum of the channel?
Was it?
Oh,
Because I guess a bunch of people came to watch it to see the context and stuff.
and a bunch of them subscribed. And
That's why, like,
YouTube saw that video, saw it had great traction, and promoted the heck out of the next few.
I found it really, really interesting when everyone that hated on ex-YouTuber, I'm not even going to bring his name up because that's my whole point, just tweeted out his name and links to the videos that they were upset about. And we're like, I can't believe this is happening. And I'm like, you're just growing his channel. Like, if you're just saying, like, I'm upset, this is bad, you're not actually deconstructing the person. So people don't actually really care, and they just want to see what's going on, and then they're like, oh, okay, and then they just move on. So you're actually just helping them.
Yeah, I mean,
Your anger.
what are cheers?
Cheers, that's money.
We have a top cheer by Squantoon.
I think that's,
What's 1,000 cheers?
I think $10.
Really?
I think. I could be wrong.
Why would anybody give us $10?
I
This
think
show is
100.
terrible.
Yeah. I think 100 is $1.
And on that note, Freshbooks. The WAN Show is brought to you by Freshbooks, the simple cloud-based accounting solution for small business owners and freelancers.
Yeah.
Freshbooks lets you focus not on complicated accounting software at the end of the day, but instead on doing the work that makes you money. You can track your time with their timesheet function, you can manage your expenses, you can keep track of who owes you what, and when you send a client an invoice, FreshBooks allows you to see when the client has seen it, so you can put an end to that, hey, I noticed you haven't paid me.
I'm just moving away because I haven't paid you.
You're supposed to be the client.
I know.
You're supposed to be like,
I don't want to pay you.
I didn't get the invoice.
Oh, right. Well, this is what I'm
You're
doing.
terrible at this.
I'm doing it with body language.
So you can put an end to that. And if you have
That's how
any
annoying clients can
questions
be.
or you need any help, you can reach out to their support staff where you will speak to a real human.
And
No
if they
phone
do
tree,
this-
no escalations, no Luke, no return calls, just answers. There may be someone who works their name Luke. I'm sorry, Luke from FreshBooks.
He's probably better than me.
He's probably better than me.
If they do this and they move away, you can get them to do online payment as well. Which
So
is
visit
cool.
freshbooks.com/WAN and enter WAN in the How Did You Hear About Us section to try out FreshBooks for free.
Hashtag
Bringing us to nothing
FreshBooks
against
Luke
FreshBooks.
is best
I
Luke.
love FreshBooks, but I'm so
Oh,
hungry.
this is good.
And get this. So, we lost our box of Savage Jerky. Okay? Someone misplaced it. Someone misplaced the Savage Jerky. So, they sent us a new box of Savage Jerky,
Yeah.
which got held up in customs. So, they sent us a new box of Savage Jerky. In one day, both of the boxes that they shipped arrived, and we found our other box. So we have
Oh, that might have legitimately been bad for the laptop.
so much,
Because there's actually so much of it.
so much
Yoink.
Savage Jerky.
Yoink. Oh my god, I've been actually craving this for so long.
Me too. So I'm gonna go for, oh man, they sent over, how much maple buffalo bacon did they
Look how much moho there is.
There's so much moho. So Savage Jerky, the idea behind their company was to create a snack that tastes great and isn't bad for you. And they've got lots of different flavors. My personal favorites are the moho and the maple buffalo bacon, which I'm gonna crack open in a minute here. Luke, you're a big fan of the...
Moho is my favorite, but I actually really like traditional, and I'm a big fan, if you're into spicy stuff, I'm a big fan of, I believe it's mojo habanero.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that
There's
new
a mojo
packaging.
jalapeno. Yeah, they've got new packaging. Oh, cool. So they've got a new package design that lets you see the jerky inside. Oh, that's their Reaper. So they've got a lot of jerkies that are made from some of the hottest peppers in the world. Carolina
kidding.
Reapers. Do you want one? What do you want?
Something not spicy.
Something not spicy? Try the mojo. It's a little bit spicy, but it's good. It's really tasty. They also make spice rub. They make hot sauce. Oh, Brandon, see, this is why. You can take one. Which one do you want? You want? Oh, he was taking mojo.
It's the best one.
Anyway, head over to savagejerky.com or genie.us/savagejerky. I'm gonna link that in the Twitch chat, or savagejerky.com with offer code LTT. Go check it out. You guys can save 10% over there, and go try it out. They've got some really tasty stuff, they've got some really spicy stuff, and they've got some really spicy stuff that's really tasty, and vice versa. All right, so we have managed to do one news topic so far, so we should probably get a move on. Let's do that. So Linus, the screen. The original article here is from The Verge. It was posted on the forum by Good Bites. Okay. Good Bites. Okay, scale of 1 to 10.
Microsoft?
How much? No,
Are we going to talk about Microsoft?
Okay. Is he pro Microsoft or anti everything else? Or some combination of the two?
I was just going to say, why not both?
Why not both? So he posted this on the forum. HomePods are apparently staining wooden tables with a white ring. It seems to have something to do with the rubber bottom and some kind of a chemical reaction that takes place with wood.
And to be clear, apparently Sonos
Silicone,
does too.
sorry, not rubber.
Sonos does too.
Apple has confirmed the issue, stating that, this is great, the marks can improve over several days after the speaker is removed from the wood surface.
Also known as...
Get owned.
Yeah.
The company also recommended that users try cleaning the surface with the manufacturer's suggested oiling method if the white rings don't fail. There is apparently already an accessory. So padandquill.com is selling, and this surely was a leather coaster. Oh, whoops. This surely was a leather coaster they already had.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, go away. Surely was something they already had that they are just calling leather surface protector for HomePod.
Yeah, that was absolutely just a coaster or something.
$20, you can get a leather surface protector for the HomePod, but surely this is not going to be the last solution. We've got a note in the notes from James here. Wouldn't Apple have known about this? Why didn't they warn consumers? You know, I can see this being the kind of thing that Apple might not have noticed.
I
Why
would
would they?
I would probably see. I would give them the benefit of the doubt there as well. And I'm kind of king of like, no, don't do it. But yeah, in this case, I honestly would. But their response, how fast was their response?
I think it was within a day or two.
So they might have. Right?
Right, so you're saying anything that they wouldn't, if they didn't take 3 to 5 days to validate it, or wait, no, right, the fact that they think it might fade in 3 to 5 days,
Yeah.
and they didn't have 3 to 5 days to figure it out.
So I would normally give them benefit of the doubt, but I think they played their cards pretty clearly here. They must have already known. Because Apple's king of just like, I don't know. So if they do totally
They're
know,
holding it wrong.
and they're like, 3 to 5 days. This is it. Blah 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 blah.
Maybe get on our level and get more glass furniture.
If it doesn't fade out in 3 to 5 days, use this specific oiling method. Like, I don't know. I think they knew. I would give them benefit of the doubt, except, yeah. I think they basically told us that they knew.
All right. Well, at any rate.
If they didn't respond, I would say, oh yeah, I doubt they know.
I don't think any of my smart speakers are sitting on. You know what? No, I do have one. I have the Sonos Play 3 that's sitting on. It's sitting on the. So I have a.
And
wardrobe.
it says Sonos does it too.
So I have a wardrobe that has 2 drawers in the bottom, and then it just has like an open slot where you can put like belts or ties or something. And I have a plate. I don't have any ties, and I only have one belt. So I have a Sonos Play 3 in there. So I should check. I should check and see if it's stained. This wasn't posted to the forum, apparently. James found it over on Ars Technica. AMD is sending out free processors to solve firmware flashing catch-22, apparently. So AMD will help you out if your new motherboard needs a new BIOS to work with your new CPU. Now, these kinds of issues have come up before. So this really surprises me that they would be doing this. So one of AMD's selling points compared to
that's
Intel
weird.
over the last little while has been forwards and backwards compatibility of their CPUs and their motherboard and chipset platforms. And for most intents and purposes, when we're talking AM2, AM2 Plus, AM3, was there an AM3 Plus? Can't remember. For most intents and purposes, this hasn't really mattered much because there wasn't really a significant upgrade to make. Like anyone who went from an 1100T, what was that, 2-bin to a pile driver, I think. I can't remember all the code names. Anyway, anyone who went from their high performance 6-core to their high performance 8-core actually lost performance in a lot of situations. So there wasn't really a compelling reason to want to cross contaminate your platform. And the other thing too is that they were comparing themselves to Intel, who's notorious for going, okay, yeah, a chipset has a 2-year lifespan, that's it. So one of the big pitches with AM4 was like, hey, notice every AM4 board has a graphics output on it? You're going to be able to take AMD upcoming Zen-based APUs, so CPU and GPU combination chips with integrated graphics, you're going to be able to plug them into these boards and go. Now, in this case, there is a compelling reason why you might actually want to do that. And aside from upgrading, because you wouldn't upgrade to one of the new, I hate calling them APUs, but one of the new CPUs with integrated graphics. You wouldn't really upgrade to them, but there might be boards out there that have been sitting on a shelf for the last 3 months, and someone just goes and buys it and buys a new CPU with integrated graphics that doesn't work and might be in a situation where they can't flash their BIOS without an older style CPU. So basically, what they're doing apparently is AMD will send you a boot kit to flash your firmware. So you actually get a free CPU, a dual-core A6 9500. You're supposed to send it back, but you don't have to send the heatsink back. What?
The whole thing is just super weird. I'm like, do you have to sign some agreement to get it?
I don't know.
Because if not, I suspect the majority of people just won't send it back.
So here's what I want to know. ASUS has had this figured out for 5 years. Why does everybody else not have CPU-less motherboard BIOS flashing sorted out at this point?
Yeah.
Why is it still hard to flash a BIOS?
Is it patented?
That's a great question. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But okay, this laptop. Razer's BIOS flashing method is super simple. You download an exe and you run it. And it updates your system firmware, updates your BIOS, and then you reboot. How?
If you can't get into Windows, though.
But that's what I mean.
That's been around for a while, though.
But that sounds more complicated to me. Doing it while the system is booted up.
The only thing that would make sense to me is it's gotta be a patent thing, because it doesn't seem like it should be that hard, right? Pull the file off the thing. You could do that without an OS. Because you know why, like, I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, there was a few games that had little mini games during loading screens, and that hasn't been a thing for a long time. It's because some stupid patent troll was just like,
No, it wasn't a stupid troll. It was like Atari or something.
yeah, but then they never did anything with it. If I remember correctly, I want to see who did it.
Yeah, I'm looking it up already. It's about to expire apparently. Namco Bandai. Sorry, not Atari.
Yeah, okay.
But it's like one of those like ancient, irrelevant.
Like sell the
gaming
patent
companies.
or something.
Yeah.
Because
like,
it's a
that would
really
be awesome.
Yeah, it's great, and you're just not allowing anyone to do it, and it's really annoying.
I commented on that when I was doing that video with my
and that
son.
should not be patentable, by the way. Oh my god.
So
What the hell?
I noticed that when I was doing the video with my son on the Kano, that it has their stupid Flappy Bird clone
Oh dear.
on the loading screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, this is great. Why doesn't everybody do this? And then the comments were just full of people being like, yeah, because they can't, idiot. And I was like, okay, great, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, commenters. I really appreciate you and your comments.
I wonder if Kano got in trouble for that.
I miss Jim Carrey. Like,
Yeah.
what has he done lately?
Like,
Other than just, like, being bizarre on social media.
and on camera and stuff, yeah. Oh, there's a movie.
Oh, what's he done on camera?
He's I don't want to get into it just in case I say something wrong, but he's, yeah, I don't want to get too far into it. Nothing like, yeah,
I mean,
nothing
I know
too
there
crazy.
Was the thing, didn't his wife commit suicide or something like that?
Yes.
So that
this
was the
is
thing.
part of the reason why I don't want to get too into it. There's been some.
Oh, there's been a civil suit against him. It's something to do with that. Interesting.
This is part of the problem.
Okay.
The fact that this is happening at all apparently is like extremely mentally straining, which makes sense. Yeah, so there's been some pretty intense bouts of nihilism stuff. It's a very sad situation, depending on whether or not it's true and all this kind of stuff. And I don't know, and blah blah blah. But yeah, it's been a little complicated for a little while, and I feel like it's going to be an extremely polarizing thing.
Huh. Interesting. Okay then. Moving on to other tech news. All right then. Excuse me. Alrighty then.
Alrighty.
Are you allowed to say that? Like, if you can patent or like trademark "Let's get ready to rumble" in the way that he said it, can you do like other catchphrases?
I assume so.
Are you wearing a Savage Jerky shirt?
I am.
You are such a sellout.
I was so excited when I heard we had more. It's my first food for the day, so like, thank you for feeding me, sponsor. I appreciate it. Also clothing me. We're doing good. We're doing good. You put a roof over my head and we're done. Actually, you sort of do.
Yeah, really.
All right.
Can I help you? You know you can't have more. You were already here. Go
You ate
away.
the whole bag already?
You ate the whole bag?
I shared it with people.
Well, that's what you get for sharing.
Yeah.
What did we learn?
Sharing is losing things.
Okay, so Google to tweak image search to help protect photographer copyrights. So it used to be that it was as simple as this.
Yeah.
Images may be subject to copyright, which was Google's way of basically going,
Well, because they don't know.
because they don't know
Yeah.
and because they don't care. So they have removed the view image button that was next to it that would directly link to the high-res photo, and they're going to make that copyright notice more prominent for users. So this
Unless you
is-
just middle click or right click and open a new tab.
So this change is a result of a partnership between Google and the stock photo agency Getty Images, which has been lodging anti-competitive complaints against Google for making high-resolution stock photos easily downloadable through Google Images. So they're saying this is a benefit to all image owners globally. We expect it to have a positive impact on traffic to our site. Less than 24 hours later, oh, this is fun. There are already browser extensions for Chrome and Firefox that bring the buttons back. However, these extensions probably won't last long, especially on Chrome. The change won't stop people from using copyrighted images, but it does add a little bit more inconvenience, unless you use James's method, which, is the right-click on the image and select Open Image in New Tab. Doesn't seem
I
particularly
love how
complicated.
that's James's method.
Here's what I want to know. If there's any programmers out there watching that are sort of looking for a weekend project that would make my life a little bit better, what I want to know is, and maybe this exists, I just haven't been able to find it.
A copyright checker or something?
No, there's something entirely
Some
else that's
important thing.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I wanted to look for something important. Here's 10 important things to simplify your life. Copy link address. Oh, why did that work? What?
When does that not work?
No, it usually has Google's crap attached to it.
Oh, the picture. Look at a
tracking.
picture. Look at a picture.
Oh, is it only pictures?
I think it's pictures.
What?
Wow.
There's no important pictures. Okay.
And like if you copy that, if you copy the search.
No,
obviously.
that I'm not talking about. I'm talking about when you just like right-click. Yeah, okay, this junk.
Yeah.
Okay, can someone make an extension that removes all this? Like, is that possible? Because if you just mouse over it, oh no, it is the stupid thing. Okay, still, how it must not
This
be impossible
link
to
is
remove
to open this search with that thing extended, if I remember correctly.
Okay, and there's another issue. In
You could maybe make something that copies the click-through link.
like, what's the thing that makes it like impossible to copy paste things into Hangouts? I can't remember exactly what it is, but you know that issue where if you try to just link someone to something in Hangouts, you can't send them an exact URL. It Hangoutsifies it. So there's like a couple things like that are really frustrating. How about just stripping all that stuff out with an extension? I would download the crap out of that extension. So you'd be among the like very small handful of extensions. Apparently there is a Grease Monkey or Tamper Monkey script for that. I just haven't been able to find it. Link Cleaner in Firefox apparently, but I don't want a Firefox thing because...
Hey, Quantum's... Yeah.
Quantum was really unstable the last time I tried it. Is it better?
Too. No, I don't think so. So, okay, as far as I can tell right now, based on like a machine-by-machine basis, not even person-by-person, just machine-by-machine, either Quantum is super unstable or Chrome is super unstable. Just
Chrome's been good for me lately.
one of them, and it's on like a machine-by-machine basis. Most of the machines that I have, of course, I just get randomly signed out. This happens every show. I have no idea why. On most machines that I have, it's Chrome, but I've definitely heard reports from people that they like can't use Chrome because it just crashes all the time, which I've basically never seen or heard of that. But they use Quantum and it runs perfectly fine all the time. On both my main machines, Quantum just crashed and like full system lock because of Quantum constantly. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I would love to use Firefox again, but when it like significantly negatively impacts my work productivity, then I can't.
All right. There's some confusion around NVIDIA's code names. The original article is from Digital Trends, apparently. NVIDIA may reveal dedicated Turing cryptocurrency mining cards in March? What? I find that very hard to believe. And this is a little confusing given rumors about Ampere, which is supposedly locked and loaded and ready to replace NVIDIA's current gaming-based cards on the Pascal architecture. So right now it's pretty unclear what the crap is going on over there, and they're pretty good about keeping these things private. So yeah, I think everyone's initial thought was that Volta was going to come to everything, but this may be the generation that NVIDIA not only... So it was only recently even that they started doing a different die even for the data center parts. But this may be the generation where we get a completely different architecture for the data center parts. Very interesting.
This is pretty huge. Waymo gets okay for first driverless ride-hailing service.
Wow.
Alphabet's Waymo, so that Google parent company, got a permit in late January from the Arizona Department of Transportation to operate as a transportation network company. This allows Waymo's fleet of driverless Chrysler Pacifica minivans to pick up and drop off paying riders in Arizona through a smartphone app or website that will compete with Uber and Lyft. So Google, Alphabet, that group kind of is directly competing with Uber and Lyft now.
Wow.
The service will initially have thousands of cars prices could be competitive given there's no driver to pay.
So last year, they started a free early rider program in the Arizona capital where hundreds of people used a Waymo app to hail and use cars within a 100-square-mile radius. In November, they began testing vehicles in parts of the city without a driver at the wheel.
I kind of suspect
It's moving
that
fast,
the
faster
initial,
than I thought.
Yeah, well, and another interesting thing here is my brain went to, okay, so it's got to be cheaper because no driver. And then I was like, okay, but they cycle through the vehicles really fast because it's a lot of wear on them to drive literally all day. But then they can almost definitely just move the driverless tech from vehicle to vehicle. So they'll have to swap out like engines and vans and stuff.
Yeah, like
They can probably just move over a lot, if not all, of the automated driving tech. So
interesting.
that could be way cheaper.
Man.
Like Google could come in and just be like, this is the better option.
I mean,
You don't have to worry about when you're in Las Vegas and you're going to Las Vegas Convention Center, your driver ends up being like super racist and super sexist. You don't have to worry about that.
That was incredible.
You heard about that?
I did hear about that. So I'm in, hold on a second. Hey Max, are you over there? Cool. Can I tell people about your awful cabbie? Or do you want to tell people about your awful cabbie?
No, go for it.
Okay. So basically, Max is in this car, okay, and the driver starts going off about, here we go, women drivers, right? Asian drivers, Canadians,
And me.
Italians.
Italians. Wasn't there one more?
French Canadians.
No, it was Asian, Canadian,
Asians, Canadians, women,
Italian.
Italians. Wasn't it young
Young
people?
women.
Young women especially.
5-year-olds.
25-year-olds explicitly.
Yeah, I remember that.
Managed
I think there
to
was more
make
too.
racist, sexist, or otherwise prejudiced comments about 5 things, all of which Max is somewhere from 50 to 100%.
All in the span of what, like a 10 to 15 minute drive? Like it was, yeah, it wasn't even, and that only started like halfway through. Like he was working through them. He was on a mission.
And the best thing about this, sort of, depending on your perspective, like if you appreciate the ironic use of the word best, the best thing about it is that it was even pointed out that Max was
Oh yeah,
young, female, Asian, Canadian,
kept
and
going.
half Italian.
yeah.
Wow.
And like clearly, no one in the car was down with the conversation. Yeah.
Frosty Universe says, sounds like he comments on YouTube videos. Yep, sounds about right. Good.
But yeah,
Good
yeah.
observation.
One of the terrifying things is if they start doing these ride-sharing apps, they'll gather obscene amount of data of like how driving works and automated driving and stuff. So if this becomes a thing, it's going to massively advance all the rest of
it'll
it.
grow exponentially.
Yeah. And like the transport industry is huge. The amount of people that work in the transport industry is huge. And there's certain parts of the transport industry that'll hold for a little while longer.
Oh yeah.
Like-
These will still need to be maintained.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like certain specific thing, like very high, like black car and limo might still have a person because being served by a person, like having someone come out and open your door and all that kind of stuff might be nice. So people that are like super ballin' might still pay for that. And very specialized transport stuff, I'm sure will still be covered. But A to B driving,
Someone says it's not hate speech if you hate everyone. Well, there's actually a couple of other pretty ridiculous comments here. First of all, Max is a stupid name. Who names a girl Max? Her name's Maxine. It's called a nickname. Terrible. I expect better from the Twitch chat. No, I don't. Never mind.
have you ever called someone Bob? Their full name is very likely not Bob.
Yeah, it's Bobbert. All right, and so moving on to what we've got on Floatplane this week. I think we're
There's
gonna
someone watching named Bobbert. I'm
close
sorry,
down,
Bobbert.
close down this show pretty quick here because I think I'm pretty much done. All right, what do we got over there? We've got the HomePod versus the Google Home Max.
I watched the very end of this. Gold.
Yes, the very end is definitely gold. We've got the job posting that I think is actually up on YouTube now. So we're hiring again. Don't
I
worry
went
about it.
snowboarding, and the guy that got me my equipment was like, I want to apply. I applied in the past. I didn't make it. It was for the writer's catchment thing.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, but I'm here. I want to apply again. I was like, dude, we're hiring soon.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
This is a good video. You guys are going to like it. Our review sample CPUs cherry picked. Shit viewers say episode 1. Retail chip, engineering sample, which one performs better?
Okay.
And we did both Intel and AMD.
Have you talked about like the history of this though?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, like in
Yeah.
the video we did. Yeah.
Because it's happened. I don't know what the results of this are. I haven't seen it, but
Liquid metal laptop cooling. 20 degrees cooler.
that's really cool.
No lies. What the crap is floating point performance? Everyone talks about it. A lot of people, I'm not going to say most people, you know, most people have no idea what it is.
If you're into programming, you probably
This
understand
went
code
up at the
base
same
degree.
time. Handy tech under 100, mostly gaming. There's actually some really cool stuff. This is a credit card sized game console. That's literally in your wallet.
That's cool.
What else we got here? I think that's most of it. Oh yeah. Oh, 120 hertz PC gaming on a TV still isn't up, so that'll go up pretty soon. And I think that pretty much wraps it up. All right. So we will see you again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Woo!
Bye.
Now to consume more Maple Bumblebee.
Yep.
So many people playing bingo.
Yeah.
Oh, website. Well, all right. Peace.
Man, when we don't have like big technical stream, yeah, you can send it. When we